in the team? Because, obviously you guys struggled the other day. What was the key today, you think?
Obviously, play Baylor basketball, but we got to take the physicality. I'm pretty sure teams are going to pinpoint that. Like, we got beat up the other day, and we couldn't really play through it. So that was our main thing. We have to play through physicality. Kind of got a little physical at the end. But we just have to grow from that, learn from it, and know that everybody's not on our side. So we just have to play through physicality.
Bella, kind of along those same lines, did you personally want to come out, and respond from that Oklahoma State game? It seemed like you were on a mission defensively, especially.
Absolutely. Like I've said a million times, our defense dictates our offense. And it shouldn't ever be the other way around. I think the other night that did start to get to us. And then we weren't knocking down shots playing Baylor basketball the way that we usually do. But we worked on finding each other, making the extra pass early, and then, of course, just guarding our yard. They run a lot of cuts and pins and elbow action, so we worked really hard on that, and just our communication, too. And I think our defense definitely translated to offense tonight.
And for you, when you get rolling offensively like you kind of were, do you just kind of get in a groove? And what's that feel like?
Just like a flow state, just kind of like I'm out there and I know what my job is on one end and I know what my job is on the other. So just stay in that where it feels good and make sure that I'm giving the energy that I have to my teammates as well.
Hi, in the back, for both of y'all, the second half is where y'all really started to take over. What were the biggest adjustments they all made in the second half?
Once we got up, we had to stay up. We were up one possession at halftime, and the other day we were down one possession. We just knew that since we were up one possession, we had to continue to push the score. And they're a team that fights, so we knew they weren't going to give up. So we had to just play it one by one and just keep scoring and just keep our heads. We got in a little foul trouble, a little in the second half, but we had to just keep our heads.
Bugs, Colorado got off to a pretty good start. What flipped it? What changed things for y'all to kind of take things back early in the first quarter?
Our defense and our communication, like Bella said, like we take pride in our defense. We work hard at it every day, and it fuels our offense. So we just have to come in, communicate on defense, so we can play in transition and play the way we wanted to play. Thank you.
year is just brand new. New travel, new teams, new opponents, new faces, new styles of play, and we're just going to have to embrace it, learn from it, and move on. You know, I think we have the team that can compete with any team in our
that the kind of response you wanted to see after Wednesday's game?
Yeah, I thought, we started slow. And I thought a lot of it was, I'm thinking about Colorado's a lot like, certainly better, but a Corpus Christi and Incarnate Word where they're going to run their chin stuff and try to wear you down over a possession. And I thought early we did a really good job for 20 seconds, sometimes 25. And then right at the end, it's drive, drop. Now they're in that I got to make a play mode because we've done a good job of guarding the actual action. And now it comes down to players trying to make plays. So, when you think about drop passes, offensive rebounds, things like that, because you've got them out of a rhythm. I thought our defense did a really good job of keeping them off rhythm. So I think that was what I was most pleased with was our defensive intensity. I think we could have pushed it out with a few more defensive rebounds. Amazingly, we had more points, second chance points than they did, and it was maybe because they got 5 offensive rebounds on one possession. But, I thought when we got the double-digit lead in the third quarter, I thought they turned up their physicality. And, we looked a little like shell-shocked at first, but I thought we started to kind of battle through it. Like, you got 2 choices. You either combat it with physicality back, or you take a face plant, when someone pushes you in the back. But you just can't give in to it. And so that's what I liked. I liked that we played through the paint. I liked that we didn't need the 3-point shot to win, but we took it and made it in key situations. I just thought we had really balanced effort. That was Baylor basketball. It was from number of shots to 5 players in double figures. I thought we got good minutes from Yaya. I think Madison continues to do a good job in limited minutes spelling Nettie, but it was good to be able to play Nettie 27 minutes instead of 20.
And then you mentioned the third quarter when Colorado gets it to single digits and y'all go on that it was a 5-point play and 7-0 run. Can you talk a little bit about that sequence and then kind of Bella's involvement in all of it?
Yeah, I thought Bella played with a ton of energy tonight. I think when you think about that run, the steal and transition, your goal in particular at home is to get the other team to call a timeout. You build off that energy. But I think it was, that possession was what we drilled for 2 days. Like, you're going to have to drive it and kick it. And I thought, Yaya didn't score a lot after scoring a lot of points, but her minutes were good. Her problem today was only when she over-penetrated because they really congest and they dig in. And I thought on that play she did a good job of doing exactly what we worked on, driving it, kicking it. So now Jada steps into a wide open 3. She hit her on time, on target, and now Bella knows she's going to shoot it because she should. And so she goes to the boards and gets 2 hands to the face. And so I think it was good basketball. Like, that's what we wanted. We wanted to drive it and kick it. We got ourselves in trouble when we tried to play through their gaps, when they had gap help, and they tipped it out, stole it out. It's one, maybe a second dribble, punch it, kick it, and then you can get them to where you can straight line them to the rim. But it's hard to do that on the first gap.
Yesterday you said you wanted Nettie to kind of just go out there and play basketball and not make too much of it. Well, she had a great game. Just kind of what do you think of her performance in a game that might have meant a little bit more to her? Yeah,
I thought there were a couple possessions, too, there where I think they could have called a foul where she didn't finish. But I thought, I think, we try not to talk a lot about it, but obviously it's emotional when you play your former team, a team that you went to the Sweet 16 with twice. Certainly there's not a lot of players left on that team that she played with, but she still played with for that staff, and that staff elevated her to a level where everybody wanted her, and so there's something to be said for that. Like, I'm not a big believer in looking back but I think for her just going out there and winning her matchup, defending, rebounding, setting good screens, I thought that she set a lot of really good screens tonight for Jada, for Sarah. That there's no such thing as a screen assist, but there should be. because late in the game, just to control the clock, I mean, we just played with the ball in the middle of the floor and had Nettie screen and roll, and she didn't always get touches, but she set the first screen. Now Bugs player helps in. Now Bugs gets the shot coming up high. She sets the screen. Jada hits the pull-up. Like, she creates those shot opportunities for others, and so that's just as important. It's not about how many points you score. It's about, do you help your team win? And I thought Nettie did that today.
It seems like when Bella and Bugs both can get on a roll, they showed such poise and leadership. What is special about what the two of them can do when they're both on?
Yeah, I think they're just versatile. They can play with energy. They can pursue the ball off the rim at both ends. They're really different, and they're similar but totally different. Their body types are different. Bugs is wiry. Bella is bouncy and strong. And so they get it done differently. Bugs' game is the mid-range, the offensive rebound, the rim run. Bella wants the straight line drive, the three. But I think they give us versatility, switch ability on defense. I thought both of them rebounded the ball really well today at the defensive end. And so I think, I don't love that they had 0 assists and 6 turnovers between the two of them, but everything else, I think they were great today.
And then, a little bit of a game of runs. Early on, they go on a run, and then they have the one in the third quarter. Just what do you think of kind of the response and players not trying to do too much and win it on their own?
Yeah, I think that's what you have to do. It's we're in the Big 12 now. Teams aren't going to go away. You look at that team, and Duke loves playing against us. She had probably her best game of her career when we played her at Iowa State. Those are 4th and 5th year seniors like that are going to keep competing. And so because of that, you get up 12, they're not going to stop playing. And so you have to keep executing. I promise you, we have not worked on the behind-the-back pass to the jumper. It looked like it was like Sarah did it, so then Jada felt like she had to do it too. And but I appreciate that Bugs made the jumper on both of those. But I think it's not about getting cute. It's about making the right play. And I thought we made more of the right plays than wrong plays tonight.
Nikki, after this stretch you've had to open conference, do you know what team you have yet? Because in 2 of the 3, you've looked really good. And in the Oklahoma State game, obviously not.
I don't think a coach ever really knows. We think we know. I think we had the team tonight that I anticipate every night, I don't know who the team was that played against Oklahoma State, but I do believe Oklahoma State had a lot to do with that, And, they punched first, and we came back, and then, but it was, I think that this is our team. This is what we're capable of. This is what we should expect. Does that mean we're going to win every game? No, but we should have an opportunity to win every game. And so, I don't know who that team was. I've seen them. I've seen that team. I saw that team against Indiana, and then we turned around and responded against Villanova. And so, it's does that mean it's never going to happen again? I hope it doesn't, because that team tonight was really coachable. I thought they really tapped each other up and really cheered and moved it to the extra pass. And even though we only had 16 assists, like, that team makes you grind, and I thought we missed some easy ones too that we can make, that suddenly you have 22 assists if you make 5 more baskets, if you make, Sarah's driving left-handed layup that was really nice, or we got those 2 offensive rebounds around the rim where it was just spraying around and we were running back and it landed in our hands and we missed like 2 layups. There are plays like that just could have gotten us to where we're at 80 points and we shoot over 50%. But I thought we competed, and that's the key. Like, we competed all night.
One last one. Was there anything you did to challenge Bella? She's played kind of rough stretches in this season. Was there anything you challenged her with?
No, I think I said this on the radio. I think that when you're someone that believes you're a good offensive player and you're struggling offensively, when you win, it's hard to internalize it for long because your team won. Like whether you were 0 for 10 or 2 for 14 or whatever, your team still won. I think when you struggle offensively and your team loses, and then you start to think, my team really needed me. My team needed me to make those shots. You start to have that insecure vibe about. And so I talked to her right before the game about, you're the player on our team that impacts our success without ever putting 2 points on the board. She's our most versatile defender. She defensive rebounds. She's our best communicator on defense in terms of talking us through screens, talking players through actions. It was about, hey, there are ways to get yourself going. Get an offensive rebound. Get a steal. Like, you don't have to rely on just making a three. Drive that ball straight to the rim from the baseline and draw a foul. She'd struggle from the foul line, so seeing the ball go through the basket when they checked her going to the rim, and for her to go and make those 2 free throws were really big for her, which sounds like she's more than capable of making free throws, but when you're in your head, you got to see it go through the net. So, it was about hey, as much as you've struggled shooting, watch any one of our games. Teams are not letting her get open shots. They still guard her like they believe she can shoot the basketball. So nothing has changed other than they're going to put capable 3-point shooter who's struggling this season from 3. Let's not be the team she gets hot against, because that's what we put on scouting reports when people we know are good career 3-point shooters that are struggling. We don't want to be the team that they get going against. And so, people still guard her. Nobody sinks in and helps on Nettie off Bella. Nobody does that. So I said, you still space the floor for us even when you're not making shots. So do what you do well. Have the ball feel good coming out of your hand. If it feels good coming out of your hand, we don't care if it goes in or not. I told her, I said, have I ever gotten upset with you for taking an open 3? And she's like, no. And I'm like, and I'm never going to. And so, I think she hesitated on her first couple threes. I don't think that's why. I don't think anyone who hesitates on a 3 will never make it. Will never make it. You can jab step to a 3 if someone's guarding you and you're getting them off you, but if they're off you and you got to jab step them and then decide to shoot it, you're not going to make it. It's just not a rhythm shot. So I thought she made a key one, but I think it was more than the 3 for her. I thought it was her energy. Thank you.